Police have seized dozens of weapons that look like something you would find in a gang war. What makes this even more shocking, though, is investigators say they were made by high school kids at a metal shop at a school right here in Albuquerque. According to an APS police report we got a hold of last week, 4 boys were spotted in Sandia High School's metal shop messing around with some scary-looking sets of metal claws a la Wolverine. The boys told investigators they found these claws here on a scrap bin. Well, it turns out there was a lot more to this than just the claws. Police say they found 11 swords, 5 throwing stars, and at least 25, quote, cutting or stabbing weapons.
Boy, I tell you what, we don't condone this action in our classrooms, and there needs to be the oversight by the teachers.
You don't say. The district says the students caught playing around with the metal claws will not get punished because they simply found the weapons. Brad Winter, whom you just heard from, who oversees school police for the district, says it looks like the weapons were made sometime last school year, but it is not clear exactly who made them. That investigation will continue. A warning for parents and teenagers and really everybody. The State Poison Control Center has a warning out now about a deadly and dangerous drug called Molly that teens and adults right here in New Mexico are using. Molly is a very pure form of ecstasy. It's a man-made chemical drug that gives people a feeling of euphoria and a heightened sense of touch. State police say this 14-year-old girl who died after a foam party at Expo, New Mexico last month had taken Molly in the parking lot before going in. The DEA says it's often marketed at rave scenes to kids as young as 12 years old. Well, Congress has less than a week now to come up with a budget or face a huge government shutdown. However, Congressman Steve Pierce, New Mexico's sole Republican in Congress from the southern part of the state, told us that fears of a shutdown are wildly overstated. A little more than a week to go before the federal government runs out of money, the Republican-controlled House voted on Friday to continue funding the government through mid-December, while at the same time defunding the Affordable Care Act, which you probably know as Obamacare. It's a move some House Republicans made after vowing to kill the sweeping health care bill, even if it means a government shutdown.
That's the main thing the House of Representatives is supposed to do, initiate the funding. We can move funding in and out of programs all the time. That's our job, and so I don't consider it to be wrong or somehow backdoor at all.
Well, in any event, the House resolution is unlikely to pass the Senate, where Democrats are in control. In fact, Senator Ted Cruz, a Republican, is trying to filibuster that. He's been talking for 16 hours now, but with just days to go before the government runs out of money, the pressure is on the Senate to produce its own plan, get it back to the House, and have everybody agree on it. The final Senate bill will have to be reconciled with the House. As mentioned, there's not a lot of time for that. The new fiscal year for the government starts next Tuesday. Well, for the first time in more than a decade, the New Mexico Human Services Department is not asking for more money from the state for Medicaid. Officials say they don't need as much in the upcoming budget year because of lower inflation and more federal money that is available. Sounds like a good thing. The department has requested about $1 billion in state money from Medicaid in the fiscal year that starts next July. That's nearly $19 million less than this year. Well, it wasn't long ago that we were in a serious drought, so bad even farmers and ranchers were fighting each other about water. But with all the recent rain, the situation in southeast New Mexico has changed drastically. Now, with so much water here in the Pecos, they're having to share this water with our neighbors in Texas.
It's something that isn't ours. If we owned it, we'd keep it, but the Supreme Court has said that we have to deliver to Texas. That's what we're doing.
Okay, so here's what that is all about. According to a settlement from 2003, when the water supply in the Pecos River Basin is at a certain level, the Carlsbad Irrigation District must release some of that water to the New Mexico-Texas state line, so basically Texas gets it. This is the first time in 3 years the Carlsbad Irrigation District has had enough water to do that. Remember, the drought's been going on for about 3 years. Irrigation department leaders say that winter rain and snow should also replace the water that is being released to Texas. That is going to happen this week. Well, 5:35 now. Good news if you're looking for a job, a huge career fair going on in Albuquerque today. Workforce Connection is hosting a job fair. It goes from 10 to 2. It's on Mountain Road Northeast. Dozens of companies will be there offering dozens of different jobs. So polish up that resume, put on a nice suit, and best of luck to you. Well, there's been a lot of problems recently with those flushable wipes clogging toilets all around Duke City. They're advertised as safe for septic systems, but They're the cause of backups at homes and businesses and even sewage systems all across the country. Plumbers say they don't disintegrate as fast as toilet paper.
Non-flushable wipes, they'll get up in here and kind of get hung up in this spot and they don't go away. And then once you do 2, 3, this whole area gets backed up.
Kirk Andreas there says Roto-Rooter handles 2 to 3 calls a day just in Duke City because of backups caused by the flushable wipes. The Water Utility Authority expects the wipes to cause more problems as they become more popular. They all recommend sticking to the regular old toilet paper. Dirty story. Our investigators are looking into how a fire at an apartment started in northwest Albuquerque. This happened yesterday at the Broadstone Apartments on Sequoia near Ladera. When firefighters got there was thick black smoke coming from an apartment on the first floor. They were able to get the fire out in minutes. They say a man who's in his 30s was inside. He did have some smoke inhalation. He was rushed to the hospital. He should be okay, though. Officials say the fire was contained to that one apartment, and it's a good thing because it could have been a lot worse.
These type of apartments, they can extend very, very quickly and damage multiple apartments. So firefighters did a really good job at, getting here quickly and extinguishing the fire.
That's what they do. AFD says it's investigating what caused the fire, but right now it does not look like it is suspicious.